Good day, everybody. I'm Shmee, and today I'm back to show you all the very basics of Kingsmarch and Boat League in Path of Exile's patch 3.25. As you all can see, I am playing Ruthless, but everything in this video, except for the total quantity of the shipment rewards, will be exactly the same between Trad League and Ruthless. The first big question that I know is going to be on everyone's mind is when should you start upgrading your town? My advice is to wait until after the end of Act 1, then go to your town and blow all your gold on upgrades. Do that again after you finish Act 2, but only in Act 3 and afterwards should you regularly start engaging with the League mechanic. The reason why is that everything in Kingsmarch is gated behind gold. If you have enough gold, it's easy to instantly build, upgrade, and develop your entire town, especially early on. There are going to be times when you're going to need some specific league resources for specific unlocks, but in general, gold will always be what limits you. And you get so much less gold in the first two acts that you're going to be scrounging for every single coin if you're trying to manage your town. Or you could just lazily save up your gold, blow it all at once, and do it in about 60 seconds. Kingsmarch itself is also very straightforward. While you're here, you can just hit V at any time to open up your town map. From this screen, you can manage all of the employees at all of the various stations all across town. However, if you actually want to do something like crafting an item, recruiting new members, or sending or receiving a shipment, you will need to run over to the NPC and speak directly to them. Building and upgrading your town is also a very straightforward process. Each upgrade will come down to a large amount of gold and a small amount of the league resources. Some of the early upgrades only require gold. So in order to pay your workers' wages, you're going to have to deposit gold into your town's treasury. Think of it like a private gold stash for your town. If you have gold in your inventory and your treasury, and you're in Kingsmarch and spend gold, that gold gets drawn from your inventory first, then your treasury. But it is possible to bankrupt your treasury by overspending. However, in that case, the town just shuts down until you deposit more gold, so there's really no consequence. Very early on, there's only 4 of these systems that really matter: recruiting, mining, shipping, and farming. Recruiting is done through Rolf in your town hall. He offers some workers that each have some skills, a cost to hire, and an hourly wage. Note that not all workers are equal. Their skills will differ, some of them will have multiple skills, and their hourly wages can differ as well. There are good workers and bad workers. The second thing to note is that you only have to pay those workers while they are actively working. If they're sitting idle, even when they're assigned to a job but just don't have resources to process, they are free. And lastly, note that all workers have a 0 skill in everything. What I mean by that is that you can, say, assign a miner to go farm, and they will generate farming resources, but they're just going to do so at a very slow and inefficient rate. The mining station is on the west side of town. While you're in Rayclast, you're occasionally going to run into League mini-events that will unlock ore when that event is completed. This does not actually give you the resource, but it unlocks that resource to be available in your mine for your miners to go collect. You must have workers assigned to collecting each resource that you unlock while you're in Rayclast, or it will just be sitting in your mine uncollected. As you progress in your mining, you're also going to unlock smelting and runesmithing. However, those systems are only really useful once you start regularly engaging with the League mechanic. So I'll go more in depth in a later video, though I do have one special tip right now. Do not smelt petrified amber early. Several of the early upgrades that happen in town require petrified amber ore, and if you smelt it into bars, you actually prevent yourself from progressing. Farming is up in the northwest corner of Kingsmarch. There's an NPC named Sonia, but from what I can tell, she doesn't really have a purpose other than, being a person. The plots that you have here can be assigned to grow any of 3 crops initially: wheat, corn, or pumpkins. Wheat is the most generic resource that's going to be used in upgrades and shipments. However, all 3 will be useful. I recommend starting with 1 wheat patch and 1 corn patch, then flip your corn patch over to a pumpkin patch once you've got a little stash of about 30 or so corn. If you instantly flip your plots from one crop to another, they will begin growing without delay, so you can just flip them back and forth as much as you need. Last section here is shipping, and it's managed by Tuyen at the dock at the south of town. This is going to be where you spend most of your time early on. When you send a shipment, just talk to Tuyen, click where it says shipping. This will bring you up to a sea map, and at the start you're only going to have one port available. Note that to complete an order and receive the rewards for the shipment, you must fill the entire order. No partial orders are going to be allowed or rewarded. You can use either or bars for metal shipments. They're counted equally in quantity, but bars yield much better rewards. Once you select a port, you can then hit the shipment button where you load up your ship. You can use the slider or just type in the quantity that you need and then hit done and your ship is loaded. And the last step is to check your risk. This is a simple skill check between the sailing skill of your crew, the total sailing skill, versus the total value of the shipment. And as soon as that shipment is ready to go, you just hit the set sail button and return countdown will start. If you're in game when that shipment finishes and returns, you're also going to be getting a notification that'll tell you right when to go back to Kingsmarch. Overall, though, the best advice that I can give for Kingsmarch early on is you really don't need to try too hard. All of the early unlocks get capped by gold, so just play through the campaign, and whenever you want a little 2-minute break, head over to town and mass upgrade whatever you can. You're going to start getting good value out of the town around Act 3 or so, and your ability to unlock more and more resources skyrockets as you level up. Really, though, it's nearly impossible to get it wrong early. No matter what, you're going to be quickly pushing upgrades as long as you have the gold to pay for it, so just remember the entire key early on is all just gold. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, take care, Exiles.